All right, once again, I will record all of our meetings, all the meetings. Then I will upload, okay, my YouTube channels. So if you miss anything, any meeting, okay, you can find, okay, the meeting on my YouTube channel and watch it, okay. Then you won't miss anything, okay. All right. So in the last time, we talked about our syllabus. So basically, this course is composed of two parts. The first one is lecture sessions, okay? And second one is what? Simulations, okay? Two parts. Okay. Before we start, okay, I want to talk about a couple of my research topics, okay? So today is the first one, okay? The job market. Job market. We're gonna talk about job market with my papers, okay? So you are supposed to read two papers, okay? The one paper is like a full paper, and the second paper is something like what? The sister paper. But it is interesting. It is interesting as these two papers are talking about same topic, same topic. Okay. Let me check that Brooke first. Okay, no problem, Brooke. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Two papers are almost identical, but it has these have different perspectives. Okay, different perspectives. Okay, so we are to talk about that. So, how was it? How was your reading? Um, yeah, Kennedy is typing something. So, how was your reading? Interesting, complex, sometimes confusing. Okay, exactly. Okay, good, but challenging. Yes, it is challenging because you are not trained. Okay? You are a knowledge student, so you're not trained to understand 100% of the papers. Okay, so no problem, no problem. Okay? But think about in your job, in your future job. Okay, you will you will have to deal with a lot of information, including something like these research papers. Okay, then if you understand at all, it is problematic. Okay, then this time we only have a chance to look at what academic papers are something like. Okay? And also, we are going to try to understand what the story is and what the numbers means. So I don't expect, okay, 100% of understanding, but I want you to have a pretty good sense what's going on in this paper. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. So the title of the paper is "Who Create Jobs: Venture Capital, Research Grants, and Regional Employment in the U.S." Okay. So this paper is about jobs, number of jobs. Okay, and venture capital. Anybody knows venture capital? What it is? Anyone? Please tell us what is venture capital? Okay, please go ahead, medicine.
Isn't it like a type of grant?
Okay, so medicine says a type of grant, and Henry says a form of private equity financing. Okay, so venture capital is a private equity. Private equity. That means a sort of capital, private capital. Okay. And this venture capital is invested in the startups, okay? A small, new startups, okay? Technology-based startups. when this startup grows up, okay, then venture capital have a capital gains because they sell the stock. Okay, so basically, venture capital is the financing company, investing company. They sell the stocks. They purchase the stocks of the startups when startups are young. Then when startups are grow up, then they sell the stocks. They have a capital gains. Okay, this is a venture capital and research grants. Okay, research grants is just the form of the grants from the government. Okay, in this paper we want to talk about NIH and regional employment. So the level of employment. So we have now the venture capital and research grants and number of jobs. We are going to talk about the relationships between these three three variables. Okay. All right. Let's move. Okay. So this is the question. Okay. You will discuss with the teammates. Okay. I'm gonna give you three questions. Three questions. So based on your readings, please try to understand as much as you can with your team. Okay. Please help each other to help your teammates understand more about the papers. Okay. Then also discuss these questions. What is the story about? Please share the story with your team. Okay. And discuss the paper in the concepts of a competitive advantage, reduce cost, increase product differentiations. Okay, this is a totally open question. Okay, so there is no specific instructions or perspectives. Okay, the competitive advantage, doing better than others, reduce cost reduction. You understand, right? Increase product differentiation, better products. So, whose perspective you wanna take, and how do you say, okay, this thing impact competitive advantage, cost, and product differentiations? You can pick. Okay, it is again totally open question. You can take any perspective. Okay? Right? You can think in any ways. All right, then the last question is if you are authorized to allocate financial resources, simply speaking, you are the boss. Okay, you can control everything. Then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, all right. The questions. Okay, are we ready to move? Please say yes. All right, great. Now I'm gonna create your breakout rooms. Okay. So we have six teams. We have six teams. Okay. So you know your teams, right? So we have six rooms. Duration is whatever. Now I have six rooms. So team one, please go to room number one. Okay. We have six breakout rooms. Team two, please go to room number two. Team three, please go to room number three. Team four, room number four. Team five, room five. Team six, room six. Please join with your team.
How do I join the right group?
She just heard a
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. How was your meeting? How was your meeting? Great, great, great. All right, very insightful. Nice, nice. Okay, great. Well, okay. Now you had a team discussions. Okay, then you had a chance to enhance your understanding about the story. Right? Okay, from the team members, so not from me, not from the author. Yeah, clarify some things. Yes, that's what I want you in your team discussions. Then also you're familiar with your team members. That's great, great. So you just done team discussions. Then as a whole group, we are talk about these questions with me. Okay, with me. All right. So the first question: what is the story about? Please share the story with your team. Okay. Please, anyone in any team, please go ahead. What did you what did you talk about? What is the story? Please tell us. All right. Anyone in team one, please go ahead.
We just said that it was basically like the relationship between different types of funding and their effect on jobs, and the relationship really between like independent and dependent variables.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Very concise. Thank you, Tinsley. Thank you, Tinsley. It's concise. And it is the central idea of this paper. Actually, this paper is looking for the relationship between three variables, fundamentally. Actually, as Tinsley pointed out, okay, Team 1 pointed out that okay, VC funding, venture capital funding, and NIH funding, two independent variables, two types of funding. Okay? And then how these two types of funding impact the level of employment, the number of jobs in the medical device industry. That's it. It is all story about this paper. Okay? This is the main idea of this paper. Okay? Great. Tinsley and Team 1, please. Thank you so much. Any other discussions about the story of the paper? Any other team? Any other members? Please go ahead. Right. Okay. Then, given our agreements, okay, on this central idea of this paper, I just wanna see a little bit, okay, review of this paper. Okay. So we have a chance to enhance our understanding a little bit more. Okay. So basically, this paper is talking about two types of paper, right? Venture capital and NIH funding. Venture capital is a private equity financing. NIH funding is government money. So, private equity finance, that means a private capital. Private capital, private capital, usually they try to maximize the capital gains. They want to make money. They want to make money. But NIH funding, government money, they do not try to make the money, but actually they want to achieve some societal values, societal things. Okay? Something like a discovery of knowledge, scientific discoveries. Okay? So VC, NIH, different, right? Then if we if we combine these two types of capital without any recognition of differences, then it's a problem. Okay? So motivation of this study is very simple: how venture capital and research grants impact regional employment respectively, and what contextual factors shape these relationships. Okay? This was the conventional approach. Okay? So in the literature, many people, many economists, okay, actually they had this model, conventional approach. So their idea was very simple. YI is a level of employment. Okay, so level of employment is impacted by these factors: K, financial capital; level, intellectual capital; and entrepreneurial capital. Okay. Then, when I see this model, when I saw this model with my coworkers, when I saw this model, it's a pretty good model, but this is something we missed. Then I just say, hey guys, I understand what you're saying with this model. Okay, I understand it, but think about that. Think about that. Oh, look at this. Financial capital K. Okay. K has many types of capital. So if different capital impact in a different ways to the level of employment, probably we need to consider. We need to think about it. Okay? Then I just start with a very simple point. Hey guys, private capital maximize their returns, make money. Public capital, they have societal values. So these are big difference. Then why we try this model? The level of employment is impacted by these two types of capital in different ways: venture capital and NIH funding. Also, venture capital funding, private capital, public capital can be interactive with each other. Okay? So I just insert this KR interaction variable. Then hey, why don't we try this model? Then many people say, oh yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. So why not? Then we go a little further. So these are my model and hypotheses based on some mathematical expressions. Okay, VC funding impact regional job creations, and NIH funding impact regional job creations positively. Okay, but this VC funding, NIH funding, okay, is impacted by intellectual capital too. So more knowledge in the region, probably this knowledge will impact the relationship between this VC funding and regional job creations. This is my hypothesis. These are my hypotheses too. So VC funding positively impact regional job creation, first hypothesis. And in the region with a highly intellectual capital available, then VC funding will greatly impact regional jobs. This is a hypothesis too. Okay, again, NIH funding impact regional jobs, and intellectual capital moderate these relationships. Okay? So based on this model, I have some hypotheses, okay, like this. All right, this is all about story. Okay, the story part. So based on this story, I have 4 hypotheses. To test, if you have any question, okay, if you don't understand anything, just, let me know, okay? You don't need to raise your hands, just jump in, our discussions. So to test this hypothesis, I have some data. Okay? I have some data, ICS data from Harvard Business School. Okay? And this data contains 48 medical device clusters. Okay? Then I have depend variable. So I want you to remind your statistics class, just the basics of statistics class. You don't need to remind everything. Okay? So depend variable and independent variables. Okay? So depend variables. What are depend variables? What is a depend variable? Anyone? What is a dependent variable and independent variables? Anyone, please go ahead. All right, Aidan. All right, great. Its value is determined by another variable. So,
A dependent variable depends on the value of another variable.
okay, so dependent variable is determined by other variables, another variable. So, dependent variable is impacted variable. Okay, all right. Then, independent variables are existing variables. It's not impacted, actually impacting variables. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So depend variable in this case, in this context, depend variable is what? Number of jobs. Okay. So number of jobs is impacted by what? Two independent variables: financial capital, VC funding, NIH funding. Okay. Also, we have a moderator variables. Okay. It's an intellectual capital. So basically, we have three independent variables in this model. Okay. So dependent variable is number of jobs. Okay. So number of jobs impacted by something, some factors. Independent variables, VC funding and NIH funding. And moderator variable is intellectual capital. Okay. So to test this, okay, I have some regressions. Okay. All right. This is descriptive statistics. All right. Summary statistics. So think about that. Think about that. Level of employment, all samples, and these are mean, standard deviation, something like that. Okay. So level of employment is a mean is for 5.81, and if I divide into two groups, this group is high VC funding sample. That means in the areas that have high VC funding, okay? A lot of VC funding. In this area, these samples, the areas that have low VC funding. Okay? So in the high VC funding, this area, level of employment is greater than that of low VC funding. Okay? This is greater than that. So, the high CVC, high VC funding area, level of employment is greater. Sorry about the noise from my dog. So, okay, it is, consistent with my predictions. So in high VC funding, higher level of employment. VC funding is positively correlated with level of employment. Okay, and NIH funding too. High NIH funding area, okay, and higher level of employment. Low NIH funding. Okay. So, this is consistent too. So higher VC and NIH funding, then higher level of employment. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. Then I want to go to some regressions. Okay. At this time, we focus on this. Okay. The reason the tables, this table I just introduced this table because you don't need to understand everything, but probably in your future jobs, okay, when you go up to the higher hierarchy of your organizations, probably you will have better chance to have this kind of stuff, okay? Regressions and some report or whatever, okay? So, at that point, I want you to have a better sense, good sense about what these tables are talking about, okay? You don't need to be a statistician, but as a business leader, as a organizational leader, you should have a good sense about the regressions. That's why I introduced these tables. Okay. Usually, regression tables are introduced in this fashion, in this way. Now you understand a dependent variable and independent variables, right? So my dependent variable is here. Dependent variables. Okay. Let's see just model 1. Okay. This is model 1. This is a 1 regression. Okay. And my dependent variable is what? Level of employment. Okay. These are my independent variables. My independent variables. Okay. So in this model, I just included a control variables, not variables of interest. Okay, not every independent variables. But in this model, I include all the variables of interest in independent variables. Then look at this. Still, my dependent variable in model 2, my dependent variable is level of employment. Okay? And my independent variables, VC funding, NIH funding. Look at this. 3 stars. 3 stars. Okay, there are some stars. Okay? These notions are statistically significant. Okay? So basically it says this VC funding impact level of employment significantly with these stars. And the sign of this regression coefficient positive. Okay? That means VC funding impact level of employment significantly and positively. Okay? Now, my first hypothesis is supported. Okay? And NIH funding too. Positive and significant. Okay? I'm not going to talk about moderation effects at this point. I just want to, let you know the very basics of the table subregressions. So my first hypothesis and third hypothesis are, good, supportive. Then I have some more dependent variables like a T1, T2, T3, T4, something like that. Because think about that. VC funding can impact just this year level of employment, and the next year level of employment, and the following year. We don't know how many years this impact will, available. So I just have more years, for the following years level of employment in different models. Then I have a significant and positive regression coefficient. That means risk funding, NIH funding impact level of employment positively and significantly, and also in many years. This table show to you Tinsley says, okay, all right. Say yes. Okay, now I understand that, right? So if you understand up to this point, you're good. You are ready to go. Okay. In your future jobs, nobody will ask, you understand 100% of these tables. You're not PhD, right? But as a business leader, okay, your knowledge, your conscience, okay, based on this, you have a good sense about these tables. If you understand, okay, what I was talking about to this point, you are pretty good. You're good to go. You're good to go. Okay. So now we understand the story of the paper, and also we understand these numbers. Okay. Based on these understandings, there are many types of regressions, but you don't need to understand everything. Okay. So based on these basic findings, okay, so strategists should consider, okay, appropriate typology, okay, public private characters are different, so we take care of this, okay, in different ways. And also there are some interaction effects of financial capital and intellectual capital. Okay? Now we know this, so based on this we can have a better strategy for probably venture capitalists and governments and for our societies. Okay? So this simple finding actually contributes to have a better strategy for many people, venture capitalists, governments, for our total societies. This is a pretty much about story. Now Henry says yes. All right, great. Any question, comment? All right, then let's go back. Let's go back to the first slide. So now discuss the paper in the concepts of competitive advantage, reduce cost, and increase productive translations. So please tell us what you discuss with this question. This is a totally open question. It can be any idea from any perspective. Please, anyone, please go ahead. Any team?
I know that my group mainly discussed the competitive advantages, because we noticed like two particular like sentences in the paper that discuss the competitive advantage.
Sure.
We talked about how new startups newly formed and funded by the venture capital would have more competitive advantages over others. And then we discussed the competitive advantages of the global economy lying in local things like knowledge and relationships.
Great. Thank you so much. Henley. Thank you so much. So, Henley and her team take the perspective of startups. Startups. Okay? They always need money, capital. All right? Based on my consultation experiences, okay, the first problem of startups, small company, is money for the first stage. Okay? They seek money. And then after little growing up, they seek what? People. Okay? So money is the first step. Then think about that. VC is all about money, private equity. It can be invested in startups. Okay? And research grant, government money too. Okay? So if in money, invest in startups have more resources, probably they develop their more resources, and they have a competitive advantage. That means they are doing better. Okay? So, in the startup's perspective, VC and NIH they will contribute to have a competitive advantage. Okay? Great. Okay. Any other point? Any other teams? Anyone?
One thing that I noticed that it said was that a lot of the startups seek technology spillovers that help to leverage specialized and fundamental scientific discoveries that help reduce the research and development cost.
Okay, actually, thank you so much. Technology spillovers. Technology spillovers. So usually startups are specialized in developing technologies. Okay? And these technologies can go anywhere. So think about that. Think about that. If technology spillovers occur, okay, it happens, then our society have better knowledge, better technology because they enjoy technology spillovers. Then the society what? Reduce costs. They can reduce costs. Also, based on this technology, they can increase product differentiations. It's amazing. Okay? This is about the technology diffusions. Technology diffusions. Okay? I'm working on a project about technology diffusion. Okay? In the biopharmaceutical industry. Okay? Probably sometimes, in the near future, I want to share my projects with you too. Okay? Great, thank you, sure. Okay. Any other points? All right. If you don't, the last question: if you are authorized to allocate the financial resources, you are the boss. You can do everything. Then what are you gonna do?
So my group talked a lot about how as strategists, we have to think long term. And so by choosing to allocate more dollars towards research grants, we would be able to create more stable long-term jobs because the venture capital dollars that go to startups might result in the startups not succeeding and those jobs would then be eliminated.
All right. Great. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Adam. So if you're the boss, you are gonna take care of long-term job sustainability or increase whatever. Okay. To do this, Adam and his team was talking about the timings. Timings. Okay. Okay. VC, NIH both increased number of jobs, but NIH, okay, NIH has a long-term effect, a greater long-term effect. So NIH, okay, go first, okay, then VC later. Then we will work. Okay, it will work to have a long-term sustainability in the job market. Okay. There was Adam's point. It's a great point. Great point. What else? You're the boss. What are you gonna do? Actually, Adam has a great point. So it is consistent with the idea of this paper too. Any other point? All right, great, great discussions. You did a great job. Very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. Okay. Now you seem to understand. Okay. Seem to understand the paper, the story. Okay. A lot more. Okay. Now you have a good sense about competitive advantage and cost reduction and product differentiations. Okay. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. To conclude this meeting, I just want to mention about the second paper. The second paper. Yeah, this is the second paper. So, industry and innovation paper is we already discussed, and that paper, industry and innovation, and also this paper. These papers are co-authored by two different professors, David Koo and Reza Edelman. David Koo is a Georgia Tech guy, and Edelman is an MIT guy. They are my own, courses. So usually I do some of my research projects with these two guys. Okay? David is very close from here, but Edelman is in Massachusetts, so it's not, it's from here. So this is a typical paper for the researchers, not you. But we talked about the impact of VC and NIH, and then based on this understanding, I just suggest different ideas. Okay? Simply speaking, the impact. You don't need to look at this. I just wanna show you the tables to make sure you become a good match. This is interaction effects. Same thing, same table. Depend variable, level of employment, T plus 1, T plus 2, same table. Okay? But same independent variables, VC funding and NIH funding, same independent variables. Okay? And then this paper has this one, new variable. VC funding is multiplied by NIH funding, the interaction effects between VC and NIH funding. Okay? And this is negative, significant. That means if there are greater VC funding, NIH funding, the effect of NIH funding is decreased. Strategic substitutes. Okay? Strategic substitute. I'm not sure you learned strategic substitutes or complements in the economics class, but so this table basically looking at same thing, but it highlights the interaction effects of VC funding and NIH funding. Okay? And this paper finds VC funding, NIH funding are strategic substitutes to determine the level of employment. This is the only difference. But this finding, this simple difference, actually makes a lot of policy implications and also a lot of different strategies. That's why I just introduced this paper too. Okay. All right. Then, how was it? That's pretty much about today's meeting. All right. Oh, yeah. Some people, yeah, it's good. It's good. Now you understand, some things more. Okay. All right. I'm just looking at the chatting screen. Brooke was typing something. Okay. So, any question, any comments about the papers and ideas, whatever your discussions? Okay, great. This is how we perform our meetings. Okay, we proceed our meetings. Okay, for the next meetings too. Okay, so if you don't have any question, concern, okay. All right. No question, no concern. Okay, please say yes if you're ready to go. Please say yes to make sure. We have many students. It's a big class, though. It's not easy to look at all of your faces. Okay? All right, great. So we're done the first meeting. Okay. Then the next meeting will be not Monday, right? Monday is a holiday. So next meeting will be the next week, Wednesday, right? Wednesday. So we gonna read two papers again. This time we gonna talk about corporate venture capital, and real options. Very important concepts. Very important concepts in strategy management. Okay. So please read two papers and be ready to discuss with your team and with me and as a whole group. Okay? No question? No comment? You're ready to go? All right. I will see you on next Wednesday. You did a great job today. I love it. Okay. Great.